Let's do a quick run through of everything I read in May, and by quick I mean quick because I'm busy this weekend. I'm halfway through getting ready for my friend's wedding tonight, and tomorrow it's my birthday. Woo! So yeah, I need to get this done now or I'll get halfway through June and still have not done this. So I read 16 books in May, which actually is a lot more than what I thought I was going to, considering I got married last month. So we'll start with the physical books that I read. So I read The Cruel Prince, finally. I loved this so much more than I thought I would. I really thought I was going to read this and think that I was, I don't know, too old to enjoy it now at my ripe age of 36. But no, absolutely not. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The world building was incredible. I was absolutely immersed in this fantastical world. The Fae here are actually kind of creepy and a little bit horrific, so I like that. And everyone warned me that there is no romance in this series, and I was gonna, to set myself up for having no romance. There is enough sprinkles in this to keep me happy, who, I am a solely romance reader. I was very happy with what I got out of this and what is going to come, so absolutely recommend. I finally read book 2 from Bride of the Shadow King, which is Vow of the Shadow King. I did like this, not as much as book 1. It is a bit slower to get into, and I didn't like how the MMC acted for most of the book towards Thorane in this book. There are reasons why he does that. It's not all his fault, but I didn't love those moments. I much preferred him being the swoony heartthrob that he was in book 2. We come around to that, but it took a while for us to get there. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm going to carry on with the series, but not as much as book 1. Absolutely kicking myself for not picking up a Lisa Kleypas book sooner than this. But I think I started with a great one. So I read Again the Magic. And there are sort of 2 love stories in this. There's a second chance romance with some revenge plots and betrayal afoot, and then there's a side romance plot with her sister, and that's more kind of light-hearted fun. I love both of the stories. It was just great. It was an absolute delight to read. There is spice in this, in case you're wondering, which is delightful. And I immediately went to go pick up the next in the Wallflower series, because this is technically number 0 in the Wallflowers. But yeah, loved it. I read book 1 and book 2 in the Stars and Shadows and Stars series by Holly Renee. I want to say nice things. The spice is spicing. I'm in this for the spice at the moment. The plot, not so much. The plot kind of is the spice, and I'm not wholly mad at that. 4 books. I mean, they're only small. They're only really short stories, but 4 books of just different setups for banging is a lot for me. In my ripe age, I do want a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes I just want to see them bang. But maybe I wasn't in the mood for that this month. I don't know. But yeah, I am going to continue with the series. Just I'm not as in a hurry to finish this. I did have one DNF this month as well, which was this book. I got to 36%. I just don't know what it was I wasn't loving about this. I don't know if it was just the dubcon was not enjoyable. I mean, I don't know at what points dubcon is supposed to be enjoyable. I do tend to like that in darker books, especially Omegaverse, which this is. I don't know. It was kind of it was kind of icky. I didn't like it, and everything was just moving too quickly. There was no time to fully marinate in the characters. So I'm not going to continue with this one. I finally read Divine Rivals. It was okay. I liked it. It was a good story. I don't know if I would rave about it like a lot of people do. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I'll read the next one. I read the second book in the Wolf Ranch series. I think it's Wild. It was a nice palate cleanser book. I think these are meant to be. They're only really short reads. I listened to them on Audible because they are part of the catalogue that you get for free. And yeah, it's a nice, fun, easy breezy read. It was fine. I read Releasing Maladek. I just think this is like book, I don't know, something 0.5 in the Clarkanian series. This was a nice, again, another short one. It was cute. There was a little bit of action. I liked both the main characters. Their interactions together were sweet. Yeah, it's not my favourite one, but it's only like a short novella, so I wasn't expecting it to be anything amazing. It's just, you know, tidying up some plot holes before we move on to the next one. So yeah, it was great. Then I had an arc for Catherine Cowell's Fragile Sanctuary. I have been looking forward to reading this so much after I finished the Lark Cove series? Lost and Found series. After I finished the Lost and Found series, the main character in this one was set up in the last book of that series, so I knew I was going to love Anson. Is it Anson? Broody, grumpy, like loner guy out on the cabin in his own. It's brother's best friend. She is like so sunshiny and just delightful, and the spice was delightful. I think this is probably the spiciest one that I've read of Catherine's. She went there. She went there. Absolutely 5 stars. I cannot wait to read more in this series. The absolute stars of the month were Spark of the Everflame and Glow of the Everflame. Oh my god, this is going to be one of my new favourite series of all time. I just know that it is. The MMC in this series is so swoony. Oh my god, he just melts my heart. He is just so devoted and just, he's just so delightful. I love him. The world building in this is great. The court politics and manipulations, I love it so much. The secrets, it is great. I'm setting myself up to read book 3. It is a chunker, so that's gonna be one of my June reads, because the final and 4th book is coming out, I believe, in July. So I've got a good month to get through this 1,000-page chunky beast. But I'm also very excited. It's such a fun but also heartbreaking series. I did have a few crying moments, so do prepare yourself for that. Absolutely would recommend it to anyone who likes, you know, ACOTAR and, you know, all of those standard ones. But yeah, definitely read. I'm running out of time. I read Taken by the Horde King, which I believe is book 5 in the series, Horde Kings of Drakkar. I really like this one. It was a little bit slow to start with compared to some of the others, but I liked it. It was very good. It's not my favourite in the series. My favourites are still book 2 and book 4, but it was a great instalment, and I can't wait to read now the final one in the series. I read Run Posey Run. This man is crazy. He's actually crazy. He's awful, but he can't help it. I think he's pretty much described as a psychopath. He has no feelings, has no care about other people's feelings, so he's just absolutely ruthless, all the way through. But at the moment, at the end we do get some lovely heartfelt moments. It is very sweet, but it's also very savage, so do prepare yourself if you go to read this one, because he does not hold anything back. That's all I'll say. I read Beth's Stable, which I believe is book like 6 in this series, but you're meant to be able to read it as a standalone. The only way I can describe reading this book was as if someone opened my brain and poured popping candy into my brain, and then, like, I don't know, poured Coca-Cola on it or something. It was crazy. It was crazy. The characters are just deluded. Absolutely deluded. They are crazy. Some of the things that they say, things I didn't like. The FMC uses a lot of movie references, like, all the time. I did a search for the word movie, and that's referenced 46 times, and then not all the times that she quotes movies does she use the word movie. So there was a lot of movie references. There's a lot of, like, galactic slang, which is fine, but when it's used constantly, it was a little bit okay. It was very surface level. There's no deep emotions here. It's just you're in it for entertainment purposes, and that's kind of it. So yeah, that's everything that I read. I tried to get through this as quickly as possible, but I still used up 10 whole minutes. So thanks for watching if you stuck around this long.